All right, thank you. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Once again, my name is Joseph. So this morning, I'll be talking about the topic, the Scrum principles and essentials. So without wasting time, let's just dive into it. So this is our content. Our content will be looking at introduction, what is it like with Scrum, how does Scrum come to be, and the definition of Scrum, what is Scrum? Then what was life before Scrum? Then we look at Scrum roles, Scrum ceremonies, Scrum values and principles. Then final thought, then we can take question. All right, so introduction.
Can you kindly make it bigger? Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Okay, it's
like
fine.
Slideshow, yeah.
Yeah. Is it okay now? Is it good this way?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So the term Scrum was first used in January 1986 when it was published in Harvard Business Review by two Japanese professors, Hirotaka Takeuchi and Ikujiro Nonaka, in their article, The New Product Development Game. Yes, you heard that twice, new. It's not new. So in the article, they took a pragmatic look at the Toyota idea of coming together to solve a problem. So after their findings, they introduced a sporting metaphor from the game of rugby, which today we know as Scrum. So Scrum came from rugby. It referred to a team working together on a common goal. So that is how we come about Scrum. So what is Scrum? Scrum is an agile management framework used to develop and manage iterative and incremental projects. So Scrum involves breaking a complex task into smaller stages. You review and adapt changes throughout the process. So, and just so we know, Scrum is widely used globally because it increases the productivity of a team while reducing waste and redundant activities. So, what was life like before Scrum? So before Scrum, we have miscommunication. There was a great deal of miscommunication between business and development team, which leads to them, doing a whole lot of rework. Life before Scrum was chaotic, as we can see in the pictorial representation. Project always started out with over-ambitious goals, and halfway through, there was a realization that we are not even just going to, get this stuff done. They have to start all over again. So we also have heroic effort. How to say how much work is complete. I mean, difficult to say how much work of a requirement has been implemented. Couldn't even control their schedule. And what else do we have here? We have heavy documentation. So there was a whole lot of heavy documentation. Between 60 and 70% of the time was documenting and not actually working or developing. So we come to the Scrum roles. So what are the Scrum roles? For a Scrum team to function properly, we have three major Scrum roles. So we have the Scrum team, we have the Scrum product owner, the Scrum master, and the Scrum team members. So let me quickly talk about the Scrum team members. So the Scrum team members is a collection of individuals working together to provide and deliver the requested and committed products in increments. The Scrum team is a set of multidisciplinary professionals. So in a Scrum team, typically you find developers, you find designers, you find solution architects, you find testers, you find all of those guys. So it is expected in a Scrum team that each member should learn a little bit of each other's specialization. For instance, to be able to finish a committed user story until the end of a sprint, a developer should be able to willingly sketch a wireframe and meet all the definition of dones as communicated in the backlog. So the Scrum team job is to build the best software product to deliver the requirement of the Scrum product owner. So we go to the Scrum Master. According to Scrum Guide, a Scrum Master is a facilitator for the team and the product owner. Rather than managing the team, the Scrum Master works to assist both the Scrum team and the product owner. So we can actually say the Scrum Master is a servant leader, right? So it guides all participants of the Scrum project and to make them understand and correctly apply the Scrum framework. So when you look at the Scrum Master, what he does basically is to moderate the Scrum rituals. Like every day, we have the stand-up, the sprint planning, the sprint review, retrospective, and backlog refinement. So typically, you would also find the Scrum Master guiding the Scrum team against external interference and interruption while the team does work it has originally committed in a sprint. So what are we saying? For instance, now the Scrum team has committed to a particular sprint and they are building a particular feature. And a stakeholder could just come and say, "Oh, there is this feature I want you to build immediately." So it's the duty of the Scrum Master to mediate in between and say, "Okay, no, the Scrum team is already committed to a particular feature they are building for this sprint." So such a feature, if accepted, can go into the product backlog. So the Scrum Master removes impediments that hinder the continuity of work. So the Scrum product owner, the Scrum product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team. So he is responsible for creating and managing the product backlog, creating clear and bite-sized user stories. He prioritizes user stories to accomplish business goals, and the Scrum product owner also ensures team understand and implement user story in the backlog. So the Scrum product owner also manages the stakeholders and their expectation. So this Scrum product owner is also responsible for ensuring that the Scrum team members are informed and are aligned about the aim of the product they are building. So when we have sprint review meetings, you see the Scrum product owner inspecting, accepting, and declining deliverables of product, of what they are supposed to build. So we quickly move over to the Scrum events. So unarguably, the core element of Scrum is the passion for communication, openness, and transparency. These elements are largely determinant of every activities carried out in a day-to-day work using the Scrum practice. Here, a premium is placed on customer collaboration over contract negotiation. And while we effortlessly respond to change because we agree that feedback is essential. Due to this, Scrum inspires us to embrace and practice 5 essential events during a sprint. This is to help us work efficiently and collaborate as well and improve our knowledge and become more efficient subsequently. So we'll quickly look at the Scrum events that we have. So in no particular order, we have the daily stand-up. So the daily stand-up is the team's chance to get together. So during the daily stand-up, the entire team needs to get together, they define a plan for the day's work, and also identify any blocker that is going to impede them from carrying out their task. During the daily scrum, each member of the development team should briefly answer the following questions. What did you do yesterday? So it is imperative that you understand what they've done yesterday, just for the sake of accountability. What did you do today? What are you doing today? And do you have any impediment on your way, any blocker? What will hinder you from carrying out your functions today? So these are salient questions that should be asked during the daily scrum meeting. And so the daily scrum meeting should also not exceed 15 minutes. So we move to the sprint review. The sprint review is the scrum ceremony where all works completed during the sprint can be showcased to the stakeholders. So next, sprint planning. Sprint planning is the scrum ceremony designed to make sure the team is prepared to get the right thing done in every sprint. So we move to next is sprint retrospective. So it's a final scrum ceremony in the sequence that allows the team to look back on the work that has been done, that has been completed and done, and identify items that could have been improved. So we also have backlog grooming or Scrum grooming or backlog refinement. So these artifacts solely focus on prioritization for product backlog to be prepared before the upcoming sprint planning meeting. So then we move to the 5 values of Scrum, the 5 values and principles of Scrum. So in Scrum methodology, the 5 Scrum values serve as a guide for individuals and team behavior, intending to boost collaboration and increase the odds of project success. According to the Scrum guide, successful use of Scrum depends on people becoming more proficient in living these 5 values. So what are these 5 values? We have courage, we have commitment, we have focus, we have respect, and we have openness. So you see, focusing allows Scrum teams to be agile. So it means when you say focus, whatever the team start, they have to finish. So the team is relentless about limiting the amount of work. So they really want to focus on, okay, so what do we have in hand? What should we be doing at the moment? So it's a really essential value for the Scrum framework. So we also have openness. So openness here is Scrum team consistently seeking out new ideas and opportunities to learn. You need to be open as a Scrum team member. You need to be willing to learn. You need to be able to, get yourself out of the box and ensure that you are not limiting yourself. So you need to know as a Scrum team member that anything and everything is possible. So respect is also a crucial aspect in the Scrum value and principle framework. So Scrum team member demonstrates respect to one another and also to the product owner and to the stakeholders. So it's very imperative that as a Scrum team member, you know that no one should be disrespected. Everyone should be respected. You understand? So you give everyone permission to hear their views, to say what they are supposed to say, and you respect their views. So courage. It's very important that agile Scrum team members are courageous. Many times we are faced with a whole lot of impediments. We are faced with a whole lot of blockers. We are faced with a whole lot of thoughts. We are faced with a whole lot of self-doubt. But in the midst of all of this, it is expected that we are meant to be tough and courageous in our dealing, because it's very crucial to the success of whatever it is we are building and to our personal life. And being courageous is, when you say you are courageous, you should also have the ability to say no. There are some things that come to our desk while we are building during the project that we are naturally supposed to decline, but because we feel, okay, so we need to be soft, we don't want to make people feel bad, then we say yes. And all of these things are like baggages, but we really need to be objective when we want to say, when we want to pick things and say, okay, so this is supposed to be yes or no. Then the last one is commitment. As a Scrum team member, you have to be committed to the goal and objective of what the Scrum team is building. Is an essential, so commitment is essential in the agile culture. You have to be committed. When you say this is what you are building, then let it be that. So this is what we are building. No one is doing something outside what the entire team has committed to build. So so that is that. So what are the final thoughts? So it's not all good news, as we still have to tackle the challenges of cultural misfit, language differences, and different time zone among cross-functional teams globally. Even at that, life with Scrum is like a sunshine that has brought about employee satisfaction in the workplace, better communication, more perceived value to the market, customer satisfaction, and perceived values to organization. The Scrum values are tremendous principle for individuals and teams to adopt personally and in organization. This will enable teams to solve the most difficult task, foster teamwork, and give precision. So, thank you very much. So the floor is open for questions.
Yeah, Joseph, thank you very much. I don't know about that, but I really, really enjoyed this topic, and you actually shared more lights on Scrum. Yeah. For question, we're going to start from the previous presenter. So you can bring in your questions.
Also short, man. I didn't get much out of that presentation.
Okay. Just any question for the presenter, any of the presenters. It could be for Scrum or security.
Joseph, just to be sure that I understand what we're talking about, or I'm just whining myself. We are currently running a Scrum model in Bincom, right? To be sure, because it sounds like it. I just want to be sure that I know what I'm thinking. I know.
Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
She asked if the methodology we are using in Bincom is Scrum.
So earlier yesterday, Nika posted something on Slack that yes, it should be Scrum methodology, Scrum framework that we are using, and Nika also posted something on Slack yesterday concerning that. So I'm trying to check it out if I can still see it. So she said something about the entire team fully transitioning into the Agile methodology. And of course, so I would want to agree and say, yes, what we are running on at Bincom is the Scrum framework.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, yes, in Bincom, I believe we are running Agile methodology. However, Agile methodology has different aspects, and Scrum is number one. And yes, I can't totally say that we are running Scrum, because if I to look at your explanation and the presentation, by the way, it was a nice presentation. Thank you. Because I realized that we do not have a product owner, we do not have a Scrum master. So sometimes I realize that the IT project managers are the one. They are the Scrum master and they are the product owner. So to me, it's more like IT project manager is a product manager. Let me put it that way, because some companies actually have product manager, and they don't. If you have product manager, you don't need what's it called, the product owner separately, and then the Scrum master separately. So, and then there are other parts like extreme programming, lean, and so on. So for me, I would just say that we are using maybe 60% of Scrum, and then combining other methodologies.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. Other framework. Yeah.
I can't believe I missed this.
I have a question.
Network cut me off, man.
Hello.
Okay, Nuruddin, please go ahead.
Okay, my question is, many times we heard about agile methodology, about Scrum. So what I want to do is that can you tell us about the relationship between the agile methodology, the Scrum? It's like it's never like it is not a Scrum on. We have something like agile methodology under it. Can you try to tell us the relationship between it, the difference, the likeness, about what Scrum is all about, then what agile methodology is about?
Okay. So thank you for that question, Nuruddin. And so before I answer your question, let me quickly tell Peter thank you for keeping to the time. Sorry, I should have said that before I started this presentation. So difference between Agile and Scrum, like what is the difference? So basically, Agile is a project management philosophy, right? That utilizes a core set of values. But when you look at Scrum, Scrum is a specific Agile methodology that is used to facilitate a project. So when you look at the Scrum methodology, the Agile methodology, right, there are a lot of framework. And one of the framework of Agile is Scrum, but it can be used interchangeably.
Okay, so more like the Scrum methodology is one of the ways you can achieve, okay, let me say the Scrum principle. It's one of the ways you can achieve Agile methodology, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Picking up from where you stop, do you mean that we can actually use Kanban to achieve agile methodology?
Can I?
Yes.
Can I?
Okay, yeah, Olaloa, please go ahead.
Can I add something? Let me put it this way: agile methodology is a mindset, and then we have framework, like Joseph said. So the frameworks under agile methodology, you have Scrum, you have Kanban, you have Lean, you have Extreme Programming. So every of these framework follow agile methodology rules, but some of them have their own core values. So for Kanban, you realize that it deals with visual, giving you visual form of your project. Like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're not doing right now, and this is what we've done. So that's what they do on Kanban. But for extreme programming, they focus on the programming itself, how to people can come together to do to make the programming work better than the people that are actually using Scrum. And for people for Scrum, there is a practice. Okay, the Scrum Master, like he explained, you already explained that to us, yeah. And then you have the Scrum Master, you have the product owner, you have the dev team, and this product owner will have to do the backlog, and then the Scrum Master will have to help the team together, stuff like that. So every one of them has their own practice that makes it unique itself. Do you understand? But they all fall under agile methodology. You, in one way or the other, check all the framework, you see that they actually undergo that process, agile methodology processes. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they have their own unique practice.
Okay, so I think it's time. So let me just be very simple to agile parents. Then we have 3 children under those parents. That's
Olivia, please, can you start again? We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So let me just use this illustration. We have a parent, and it's called agile methodology. And then this parent has 3 children. That's Scrum, Kanban, and extreme programming. So just like normal human behavior, every child has different things that makes them unique. So that's just what everything that has been said simply is.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, Olivia.
Hi.
Yes, good morning, sir.
I'm very sorry, we might not be able to take another question.
Okay.